Brett really sharp. Thought I really got to use his breaking ball a lot. Kind of kept them off balance. Seemed to run out of steam just a little bit there. Late in the fifth and into the sixth, we were kind of watched him pretty close there in the sixth. So, but really good for when he's in there, and then everybody basically coming in, did a nice job for us. Paco got us some big outs. We catch the break there with Robbie off third. That's obviously a huge out for us because it ended up setting up their lineup for us for our next guy. So Hatch was good. Again, that's obviously good to see him 2 in a row. PD and JP kind of polished it off, so without too much drama. It was kind of down to the last guy, so had one guy left.
Were those defensive plays by Joc tonight what you were expecting, anything you were talking about in last year, or was that even above and beyond what you expect from him as far as spectacular?
No, that was a huge play. It's a huge play, but a great play. The catch he makes, and throw obviously on the money. But Joc's a solid defender, and it's just I think it talks about the importance of what we think he's capable of doing out there, and kind of on an everyday basis. Not so much having to make a spectacular play, but just the bread and butter, getting good jumps, running good routes, being a solid defender for us in the middle there.
How important is his patience at the plate, hitting down low in the lineup to maybe kind of turn the lineup over?
Well, it's a tough spot for our young player, that 8-hole, because a lot of times they kind of try to get you out because usually the guy hitting 8th, they're going to try to get you out because they'd love to have the pitcher, leading off the next inning. But with Joc, it's a guy that can throw a run up quick. So it's not necessarily going to go after him there. So it's a tough spot for him to, know when to be patient when they're, throwing him strikes. And he's got a good eye, so I think it's just him just kind of staying with his game plan and being patient.
How surprised were you when kind of drifted up third there, given especially his standing in the game?
No, just surprised. Obviously a big play for us, and it just tells you things happen. Guys, some reason obviously he was thinking that was bases loaded, and it just happens. Guys, at times, no matter who you are, your mind drifts.
How important was it to get off that quick start against a young guy struggled in his 2 starts over there?
Well, it was nice to get a 0 in the first to start off with. That was kind of the talk in the dugout in the first inning. How about a 0 there, and then for us to throw a few runs up, and then so Dre gets a big hit for us. The guy kind of sets him up for the changeup, and he takes that changeup to left, and then Scotty kind of ambushes, gets us 2 more. So that was obviously huge to get out to that start. We kind of knew where we were pitching-wise. We were hoping we'd get 6 out of Brett and kind of be able to put some runs up tonight.
Frias was your only guy left at the end. Had the game gone on longer?
Pretty much. We had some guys at total emergency. Joel's really didn't want to use him tonight just because of the little thing with the, whatever is going on, the way he slept or something last night. And, Juan said he would go or he could go, but he threw 50 last night. And, PD, we couldn't really go any farther with him. So, the day off's coming at a good time for us. Getting through that kind of bullpen day and, the extra inning games. So,
with Frias, does he kind of fit in the bullpen going forward as a guy in relief, or what do you see kind of his role?
Carlos has got good stuff, and he can do multiple things. And we just obviously we don't really, we see him in different roles. He's stretched out to be a starter. We think he could be a good reliever, but everybody's looking for starter depth, and so we just keep moving forward with Carlos.
I know it's still early, but you said consistently that you don't really have to find roles for the guys in your bullpen to an extent. Is it more defined now than it was before Game 1?
Well, obviously we've seen not Carlos, but a number of guys. Joel's kind of thrown the ball really well for us in his outings. Pedro's been really, really good. Yimmy's been really, really good. Hatch has been up and down a little bit, but the last couple have been good. Our lefties, JP's, it was a little bit up and down, but his last couple have been good. Paco's been fine. So our guys have really thrown the ball well for us. But just like tonight, I mean, really, we kind of like Petey in the ninth, but it just didn't set up like that. We had the middle of their order come in, and we had Baez out there, with having to run through, Jackson, Cano in that part of the order. So, Petey was just the guy for that, and it sets up, to hopefully get back to JP and not have to turn it over and get back to those guys. That's what you don't want to do, is get back to, Robbie and Cruz.